Why voice acting is the ultimate side hustle. Let's get into it. Imagine being able to earn money using nothing but your voice and a little bit of equipment, without leaving home, without a boss breathing down your neck, and without a huge investment to get started. That's exactly what voice acting offers. It's one of the fastest growing and most fun side hustles in the world, and it's only getting bigger. From commercials and audiobooks to YouTube videos, video games, character work, there are so many opportunities out there. And here's the best part. You don't need a bunch of Hollywood connections or tons and tons of experience to get started. It's relatively easy if you know the right way. So in this video, I'm going to show you why voice acting is an incredible side hustle that you can start from scratch with just a little bit of equipment and do it from your own home. By the end, you're going to learn what kind of gear you need, how to build a small studio, where to actually find the work, and all the steps you need to start your voiceover side hustle. So let's dive in. Okay, first we're going to talk about why voice acting makes such a great side hustle. So the first reason is flexibility. You can do voiceover from anywhere in the world, from your house, from a hotel. I've worked all over the world in all kinds of different places. You don't have to be in a booth like this. There are creative ways to work anywhere you want to go. The next reason is that it's remote friendly. That means that everything you do in voiceover is basically done online, meaning recording, editing, communication with your clients, sending the files. It can all be done from your computer. Okay, next up is low startup costs. Compared to other businesses, especially like brick and mortar businesses, getting started in voiceover, just a few $100s will get you in the door. No more spending thousands of dollars to build out a big Hollywood studio. Not necessary anymore. It can all be done at your house. You can get a decent microphone, some free software, and just a quiet place in your house, and you're up and running. Next up is that it's creative and fun. Maybe you like telling stories, so you might go into audiobooks, or maybe you like to voice characters on animations or video games, or maybe you like to read ads. There's so much out there that you can do. Next up is a big one. Demand is higher than ever. I don't care if it's commercials or online ads or audiobooks, video games, all kinds of opportunities online. The content creation business is booming, and almost all of them need a voice for their projects. So if you're looking for a side hustle that is creative, fun, remote, has growth potential, voiceover checks all those boxes. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is what you need to get started. As I said a minute ago, one of the biggest misconceptions about voiceover equipment is that you need to build out a big Hollywood-style studio to actually do voiceover. That's no longer the case. With just a little bit of equipment and maybe what you just have laying around your house, you can build a little recording studio and get started as soon as possible. Okay, the first thing that people think about when they think of voiceover is microphone. What kind of microphone do I need to get? Well, your microphone is your number one tool in this business. Now, you don't need to go out and spend $1,000 on a Neumann or Sennheiser microphone. You just have to find something that's quality. These are going to run between $100 and $250. The one that I suggest is actually the one that I started with, and that's the Audio-Technica AT2035, or the Rode NT1A. Try to avoid USB mics if possible. Get you a good XLR microphone and a good audio interface, and that will give you a cleaner, more professional sound. All right, speaking of audio interface, what is that? Well, an audio interface is a piece of equipment that your microphone plugs into to turn the analog signal into a digital signal to enter your computer. A great beginner to intermediate interface would be the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. All right, let's talk about your recording space. Now, this is probably even more important than your microphone. You don't need to build out Abbey Road studios to actually have great sound. Even just your closet with clothes hanging in it does a great job of dampening the sound and will get you started. There are two things to look for when you're actually building out your space. The first is to keep outside noise out. The second is to keep inside noise dampened, which means as dead as possible, no reverb or echo. There's no such thing as a soundproof room unless you're in NASA. So try to get it as quiet as you can. Do you have a walk-in closet that you can repurpose for your studio? That's what I did first. Or maybe you can build what we call a blanket fort, which is just PVC pipes building a frame and then hanging moving blankets or sound dampening blankets around and make an enclosure. Put a desk in there with your computer and your microphone, and you're ready to go. All right, next up is software. We call it your DAW, or your Digital Audio Workspace. And it's basically a way for you to record your voiceovers into your computer and then manipulate it with editing and processing. Audacity is a free software that's easy to use, very basic, and will get you started. When you're ready to upgrade, there's Adobe Audition, my personal favorite, Reaper, Logic Pro, and so many other ones out there that you can pay a small fee or a subscription and get those softwares. All right, next up is headphones. Now, your headphones are so you can really analyze your audio when you're trying to edit. Just remember when you're getting your headphones, Beats or any other kind of headphones that are bass heavy, don't use them. Same goes for noise canceling headphones. Don't use them. Look for studio quality headphones. Next up, I want to talk about your mindset and patience. Nobody is good right out of the gate. You need to treat this like a business. And like any business, you need to learn the craft before you actually are good enough to start doing it. So all in with just your recording space, your equipment, your software, you can get into all that you need for VoiceOver with just a few $100s, which is far less than a lot of other side hustles out there. All right, now let's talk about how to actually find the work. You've got your software, you've got your equipment, you've got your space built out. How do you go and find the work? So the first place is freelance platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. Those are good for beginners to actually kind of put your toe in the water a little bit, get a little bit of practice with recording and editing and processing and working with clients. That'll get you started. The next is online casting sites. We call these pay-to-plays, which means you have to pay a fee to get access to audition opportunities. These are places like voices.com, Voice123, Bidalgo, VO Planet. Those are sites where you create your profile, you upload your samples, and then you apply for jobs that get posted. Next up is audiobook work. This is probably the quickest way to start doing voiceovers. Sites like ACX, which is Amazon's marketplace for Audible. It's easy to create a profile and start doing auditions immediately. And the best part is, if the rights holder or the author likes your voice, you got it. No website required or anything. All right, the next way to find work is direct marketing. This is my personal favorite, and this is where you can really make good money. The way this works is you go out and you email or reach out to production studios or content creators or anyone who you think might need voiceovers. And don't forget local opportunities, networking groups, local radio stations or TV stations. All of these people use voiceovers. Once you start delivering good quality work, repeat clients will come back to you over and over again, and you'll start to develop a pipeline and a book of work that you can rely on week after week or month after month. Okay, next up is building your skill set and standing out from the competition. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. VoiceOver is not about having a nice voice. It's about just being yourself and being real. A great way to practice is to hop over to YouTube. Hey, you're already there. And look for commercials that you have a connection to. Things like if you drive a Honda Accord, maybe look for some Honda commercials. If you like eating Kraft macaroni and cheese, look at some commercials for that. Transcribe those commercials and try to recreate them on your own and make them sound professional. Try to understand the message behind the script. Who are you talking to? Who are you in the situation? And how do you get that message across to your listener? The next step I cannot stress enough: taking classes and coaching. There are lots of coaching programs out there and coaches who work with you one-on-one, going over things like marketing and performance and technology and all that kind of stuff. That is what you need in order to actually give a good, authentic read and then go out and find the actual work. So I cannot stress enough how important coaching is, especially when you're first starting. After a while, after you've had some, jobs under your belt, you're going to maybe just use coaching as maintenance going forward. But at the beginning, you're going to need lots and lots of coaching just to make sure that you know how to find the work, can perform well, and all of that. Hey guys, just a quick break here to let you know that the application window for the VoiceOver Blueprint training program is now open. The VoiceOver Blueprint isn't just a bunch of prepackaged videos. It's the most comprehensive voiceover training program in the known galaxy. When you join, you'll get live instructional webinars every day covering marketing, tech, performance, casting sites, and more. Plus access to a private Facebook group where you can ask questions, get feedback, watch me work in live voiceover sessions, contests, and tons more. You'll also unlock a full library of on-demand video training modules, special discounts on demos and partner programs, and exclusive one-on-one coaching with VO experts. New members get a 30-minute onboarding call with me just to make sure you're off on the right foot. Plus, dedicated US-based member support every step of the way. Book your call now to learn more in the description and the pinned comment below. Okay, next up is your demo. And your demo is your calling card. It's basically a sample of your work that you can actually show people what you can do for them when they hire you for a voiceover job. There's a couple of ways to go here. You can either do a DIY demo, in which case I don't suggest actually doing direct marketing with a DIY demo. Only do direct marketing with a pro demo, meaning you've worked with someone else, a producer, to actually build that demo together so that you can then go out and show and put your best foot forward. DIY demos are fine for practice if you just want to get used to how you sound and how to do recording and editing, or using it for sites like Fiverr and Upwork, but don't direct market a DIY demo. Next up is develop your own style. Like I mentioned before, people want to hear unique voices, and everybody's voice is unique. So don't try to sound like the movie trailer guy or, any other kind of typical VO you may think of. Be yourself, and customers will respond. The more you practice, the more marketable and confident you're going to become. All right, you're probably saying, Mike, okay, this all sounds great, but how much money can I make? Well, it's up to you, really. The harder you work, the more money you can make. That's the greatest thing about this job. There is no ceiling. So the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Anywhere from a few $100 extra a month to multiple six figures if you go full time. Okay, next up, let's talk about pitfalls to avoid. Be wary of people offering guaranteed jobs for a fee. Legit work does not require upfront fees. Another one to be cautious of is don't overspend too early. Don't go out and buy thousands of dollars in equipment before you get your first job. Just get entry-level equipment and work your way up. Reinvest what you earn into better equipment later on down the line. Next up is ignoring the audio quality of your recordings. Take the time to learn about audio and what sounds good, and even better, run it by an audio engineer to make sure that your audio quality is as good as it can be. You could have the best performance ever, but if your audio quality is bad, you're not going to get the work. The next thing to avoid is inconsistency. Make sure that you are consistently either learning or going after job opportunities. You will succeed if you just keep moving forward. All right, the next pitfall is undervaluing yourself. Don't work for pennies for these jobs. Remember, this is a side hustle and you want to make money doing it. So know your worth and price yourself accordingly. So if you avoid these pitfalls, you're going to save yourself a lot of hassle, a lot of time, and a lot of money. All right, next let's talk about your game plan. What are the next steps that you need to do? All right, let's recap this with a step-by-step plan. Step number 1, get some basic gear. Remember, don't break the bank on this. Just basic equipment is fine to start. Step number 2 is learn your DAW, or your digital audio workspace. That is what you're going to actually record into. The more you use it, the easier it'll get. Step number 3, hop onto YouTube, transcribe some commercials you like, try to replicate them as best you can using your voice and your recording software. And practice, practice, practice. Step 4 is creating your DIY demo for practice. This is going to be about a minute to a minute 15 of several spots linked together of different styles. Step 5 is set up some profiles on some freelance sites, places like Fiverr, Upwork, ACX. It's just so you can get in and get your feet wet and start working with clients and earning a little bit of money. Step 6 is audition daily. The more auditions you do, the better chance you have of actually getting work. Number 7 is going to be professional, communicate well, and deliver on time. Clients will remember that. Step 8 is going to be reinvesting what you've earned. Upgrade your gear, get into a coaching program, save up for a professional demo. Those should be your next steps. Step 9 is once you have your demo, then start doing your direct marketing. Make sure you do have a good quality website to showcase your demos on, and that's where this thing will start to snowball. Step number 10 is stay consistent. Remember, this isn't going to grow on its own. Use the pockets of your day to do work, whether it's auditions or practice. Even 30 minutes to an hour a day will really get the ball rolling quick. Oh, one more thing. If you want to learn more about voice acting and why right now is the best possible time to get into voiceover, then check out this video, and I'll see you soon.